Hi, I'm Miley Oye, here to help with the next step in recovering a hacked site. Touch base with Webmaster Tools. By now you've completed our overview and quarantined your site. The goal of this fourth video includes the completion of two tasks. First, verify ownership of your site in Google Webmaster Tools. Second, understand the type of hack caused by the cybercriminal, whether malware or spam, by looking at two Webmaster Tools features, Message Center and security issues. These tasks will be beneficial throughout the recovery process. By verifying ownership of your site, Webmaster Tools can serve as a home base during the recovery process. Initially, Webmaster Tools will help you by providing more details about your site's hack status. Then, in the steps ahead, Webmaster Tools can reveal whether your site has fully recovered from the cybercriminal's wrongdoing. It's like returning to the hospital, so laboratory tests can determine whether an infection still persists. As for the second task, by reviewing the message in Webmaster Tools that pertains to your specific hack site situation, and viewing details in security issues, you can choose a more tailored treatment plan in the following step. If you're watching this video and thinking, I've already verified ownership of my site in Webmaster Tools, that's great. Go ahead and log into Webmaster Tools, and then please bear with us for a few minutes, because as soon as we cover verification, we'll discuss what to do next. If you haven't used Webmaster Tools before, let's start working on the first task in this video, verification. To begin, launch a web browser and navigate to google.com/webmasters. This page contains important links for site owners, such as the Webmaster Help Center with informative articles, and the Webmaster Academy, educational videos for beginner site owners. You can always come back to google.com/webmasters, but our current priority is to select Webmaster Tools. Webmaster Tools requires a Google account with a login and password. Many people use their Gmail address. If you don't yet have a Google account, consider selecting the Sign Up box to create one. Once created, you can use your Google account for any Google product, including YouTube and Gmail. And just because you create a Google account doesn't mean you lose your existing email address with another company. You can still use your existing email address and inbox elsewhere, and only use your Google account for Webmaster Tools. Once you have an account and you're able to log in, the Webmaster Tools dashboard appears. As mentioned earlier, the first task is to verify ownership of your site. Select Add a Site, type your URL, then Continue. This brings us to the verification page of Webmaster Tools. There are several ways to verify ownership, including those listed in the tab Alternate Methods. I won't cover each of the methods here because detailed help for verification can be found at goo.gl/k, uppercase Q, lowercase n, uppercase h, uppercase Q. Just remember that when verifying, you'll likely need to temporarily bring your site back online. You can take your site offline again as soon as you're verified. Next, since all of us have by now verified ownership, while in Webmaster Tools, navigate to the Webmaster Tools homepage, which lists your verified sites. Often clicking the top Webmaster Tools logo will take you to the homepage. It's good to check that the cybercriminal hasn't already verified ownership in Webmaster Tools and made unwanted settings changes. To do this, on the Webmaster Tools homepage, find your site, select Manage Site, then Add or Remove Users. Be sure that every user listed is authorized. If you see an unauthorized user, you'll need to both delete the user and any possible verification tokens, such as a verification meta tag on your homepage or an HTML file on your server. Then be sure to review all settings in Webmaster Tools for possible undesirable actions by the hacker. Next, while still in Webmaster Tools, check for a critical message from Google about the compromise. There are only a few types of hack site messages. First is the message in Webmaster Tools that mentions malware, such as malware infection detected. This is the message that states, some pages on your site may infect visitors with software designed to access confidential information or harm their computers. Please take note that your site was hacked to distribute malware. You'll use this information to follow Assess the Damage Malware in Step 5 of the recovery process. Another message in Webmaster Tools is a phishing notification. In this message, we explain that some pages on your site look like a possible phishing attack, in which users are encouraged to give up sensitive information, such as login credentials or banking information. Assessing the damage to sites hacked with phishing pages is much like assessing the damage to sites hacked with spammy pages. Therefore, if you have a phishing notification, please be sure to follow Assess the Damage Hacked with Spam in Step 5 of the recovery process. Alternatively, if your message doesn't mention malware or phishing, but refers to hacking suspected, it's likely that your site was hacked with spam. Hacked with spam means that the cybercriminal placed spammy pages, text, or links on your site. Please take note that if you receive this message, you should follow Assess the Damage Hacked with Spam in Step 5. It's also possible there won't be a message in Message Center, even though your site was hacked. This leads us to the last task for this step: checking out the Security Issues feature in Webmaster Tools. In Security Issues, there's more exhaustive information about the damage on your site caused by the cybercriminal. In this video, I'll provide a high-level explanation of this feature, but we'll review this feature more thoroughly in the next step, Assess the Damage. In Security Issues, sites affected with malware will show a top-level heading of malware, and then categories of malware types, such as error template injection and modified server configuration, as well as more details and sample URLs, and in some cases, even code snippets that will aid your upcoming investigation. Sites that were hacked to serve spam may display the top-level heading explaining the site was detected as hacked. Then categories of hack types, such as content injection, as well as more details and sample URLs. If your site shows information in Security Issues, you can go ahead and click to Show Details to get a sense of what the feature has to offer. More of this feature will be covered in the next step. Between the possible message in Webmaster Tools Message Center and possible additional information in Security Issues, we hope that a clear picture of the cybercriminal's damage is beginning to come together. And now that you've verified ownership of your site in Webmaster Tools, determine the type of damage caused by the cybercriminal, whether spam, phishing, or malware, and become more familiar with Message Center and Security Issues, you're better prepared for the steps ahead. Because you'll need to log in to Webmaster Tools again during the recovery process, please keep your Google account information handy. We'll see you in the next step, Assess the Damage.